I jump on live, I'm gonna educate you on how to get in great shape. I want to make a lot of this simple and easy for you. I don't want to overcomplicate things. Me as a certified personal trainer, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna teach you how to get what you've been wanting for a long time, a nice physique. When I jump on live, I also like to show you my physique so you can understand one thing. It's not just somebody just saying anything. It's somebody that's actually doing it, somebody that's actually putting in the work, somebody that's actually leading by example. Also, while we're here, if you have any questions, make sure you drop your questions below. I'm gonna give you a lot of basics that you can start utilizing right now in order to get in great shape. Like I said, when I jump on live, I like to show you what my physique looks like. I don't want to give you no running around, no games, none of that. So starts. I've only been just to give you a little bit about what I've been doing within this past going on a month now because we closing out the end of January. Me personally, I've been working out for a full month now. Shit is looking good. I've been seeing great results from what I've been doing. I've been smacking out a lot of two-a-days. I'm gonna be real with you. I've been doing what it do, what it do, what it do. I've been doing a lot of two-a-days. So my two-a-days have generally been Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday sometimes. First half may be me doing pickleball, a little bit of weights afterwards, but then second half is always me hitting weights, or it might be I have a weightlifting in the morning, then go to pickleball, and then after that I'm gonna hit weights in the evening. If I hit weights twice, I'm not hitting the same area. So I might go upper body earlier, I'm definitely going lower body later. If I went lower body earlier, I'm definitely going upper body later. So I'm not hitting the same areas where I'm doing like a chest routine when I first go in. I'm actually doing something different. So just to give you a little context of what I've been doing. I've said this before, but once again, just to give you a little bit of context, I started a landscaping company about 4 months ago. So I actually haven't been going to the gym or hitting the gym a lot just because I've been doing work out on the field. I haven't had time, unfortunately. But now it's to a point that I'm making a lot of time. You get what I'm saying? And that's something you got to do too if you really want to get in great shape. It's not about having the time, it's about making the time. I think a lot of people miss that. So do me a favor and understand one thing, it's all about being consistent. So like I said, I like to give you context of what I'm doing. Also, for those who've already worked out today, do me a favor, type a one in the comments. If you haven't worked out, if you worked out a little bit later this evening, do me a favor, type a two in the comments. But also, share this live. Let's get this live out because once again, I'm gonna go over a lot of things to point you in all the right directions. Fitness, it can be challenging, but I always say as long as you follow a lot of these basics, you'll be able to build the physique that you want at the end of the day. And for those, once again, if you worked out earlier today, do me a favor, type a one in the comments. If you plan on working out a little bit later this evening, do me a favor, type a two in the comments. As you can see, we all about accountability over here. So I want to make sure, like I said, we're doing the things that make sense. If you're new to the live, meaning you've never jumped on a live before, do me a favor and type a seven in the comments. I want to give you a shout out. Let us know where you're coming from too. If Chicago, Germany, we have people coming from all over the world. And like I said, when I jump on, it's all about transparency. Like I said, you can see what I do. You can see what I do. Been getting busy at it, been getting busy with it for years at this point. I did, for those on a live, who's been on a live in the past, I did, unfortunately, wasn't really able to get what I wanted to get done before because of injuries from car accidents. I had 2 years of injuries due to me being in a car accident back to back. One was like in December, and then another one, I can't remember the exact time, but it was shortly after. It was only like pretty much, it was in March actually. It was like March, Aprilish was shortly after that. Those actually took me out of being able to do what I want to do, but it definitely feels good to be back. We're starting a different transition into what we do, and what I mean by this is I can't go as crazy as I want to go. I need to make sure I condition my body, which is another reason why I'm doing the 2 days, and making sure my body's conditioned before I take it to the next step of me trying to go crazy. But there's a few basics that I've been actually doing that I'm gonna give to you that's gonna help you get in great shape too. Don't be fooled. You can really get in great shape from using a lot of these techniques and tricks that I'm gonna tell you. So the I'm big on, first thing I'm big on is food. But when we talk about food, to put things in a better context, we're talking about no fast food. Been cutting that out. The only time I go towards fast food is one time out of the week. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I love pizza. I'm gonna go ahead and grab me a pizza. I've been going like a higher scale of pizza just to make sure everything is solid. Not going to anything is cheap. Trying to really focus on premium and going from there. So the first thing that I definitely cut out was fast food at the end of the day. Fast food, I've noticed, heavily processed. A lot of it, when you really think about it, when we go to like a lot of the mainstream, even from a McDonald's or from a Chick-fil-A, a lot of it is trash. So for me, if you I've heard a lot of influencers, a lot of trainers say get this instead of this, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You'll see a difference in how your body performs if we just focus on cutting out the fast food altogether. Another one I cut out, adding in the fast food, I'm gonna just put takeout right here, is restaurants. Restaurants, same thing. If you're not really dropping a bag on what you spending on restaurants, a lot of the restaurants is giving you bottom tier. I recently went to a premium restaurant, end up getting chicken wings. I ended up spending like, what is it, like probably like 40, actually it was like $70 all together for like fries and wings, to be real with you. But one thing I can definitely say within going to this spot was like, damn, you can tell the quality of food that you're getting from fast food to restaurant is night and day. And think about it, $70 for chicken wings, that's a bit absurd. Let's be real. It's a bit absurd. So for me, I always say cut out the takeout too. DoorDash, Uber Eats. I live in an area that's a higher income, but I tell people this all the time. That doesn't mean that you're still going to get lower income type food. That's the reality. One of the best things you can do if you're not doing it already is start meal prepping. Meal prepping is one of the easiest things you can start doing right now to point you in the right direction. Because what most people forget about food is that food, you generally binge towards the wrong things when you're not prepared. Preparation is everything. I want you to be as prepared as possible. Remember, if you have any questions about anything that I'm going over, drop your question below because I'm going to give you a lot of information that you can take with you. But do understand one thing. Fast food, takeout, cut that out. Cut it out. Cut it out as best as possible. Focus more on meal prep. Go to the store. What I would recommend is before you actually go grocery shopping, one day go and buy like a few things, but price check. Look at things that are within your budget that's going to keep you healthy. Look at the vegetable aisle. Well, I would say produce, not vegetable. Look at the produce aisle to pick and choose what vegetables and fruits that you're going to start incorporating into your diet. Another thing you need to do as far as meal prep is focus on what type of proteins that you're going to intake. So that way you're not breaking the bank. Are you going to go half frozen, or is it a situation you're going to do everything fresh? Me personally, I'm going to be real with you. When it comes down to like seafood, when it comes down to beef, me personally, I'm going to go more the fresh route. I always highly recommend for those who are trying to get right in the meal prep aspect too, is farmers markets are done, but we can still, when it comes down to our proteins, go to butchers. It's going to make a big difference than getting what you're going to get from your local grocery store. All grocery stores are not created equal. We've talked about this a numerous amount of time in the lives. So do understand, you being able to tighten up on the meal prep and knowing how to shop is going to make a huge difference when it comes down to you building the physique that you want to build and possibly maintain. Because my biggest thing is we're not really just building it to lose it. We're building it to maintain. So we need to make sure that we're following all of these steps to make sure we're moving in the right direction. But like I said, when it comes down to the food, my first thing is cut out the fast food. Cut it out. Me personally, like I told you before, one day out of the week, one meal out of the week, I'm getting pizza. That's the only fast food that I'm getting right now. I'm going to be real with you. I love pizza. Pizza is something I was like, you know what? I'm not cutting out. I'm going to go towards that. And on my days when I'm consuming pizza, those are actually my most intense workouts of the week. So if I consume pizza on Tuesday, just know We did a 2-a-days on Tuesday. Probably had the pizza during lunch. So when it came down to me going to the gym for the second half, when my schedule became available, we got busy. You get what I'm saying? We got big busy. You get what I'm saying? So going from there, meal prep is going to be very, very important. If your budget allows, I say this all the time, use a meal prep service. Don't overcomplicate things. Use a meal prep service. It's going to make things 20 times easier. A thousand, I would say 1,000 times easier for you. But my biggest thing when it comes down to using services like a meal prep service, you got to understand one thing at the end of the day. It's going to cost you more money. Anything that's going to create any type of convenience is going to cost you more money. So if you do not have the budget that allows meal prep, you need to be meal prepping yourself. Point blank, period. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. That's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on either meal prepping ourselves, or if the budget allows, use a company that you trust, that's providing quality food, and pay the taxes you're gonna pay to get a meal prep service. Second thing we're gonna focus on, because I don't want to go too much into food, is activity. So I'm just gonna say active, but activity is going to be very important. A few of my standards and a few of my structures when it comes down to activity is, one, we gonna work out 5 days a week. That's a non-negotiable. Every day, we trying to get at least 10,000 steps a day. Your bare minimum is gonna be 6. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not really active and you only get like 2,000-3,000 steps a day, it might be a little bit more difficult to get to just jump straight into 10,000. My biggest thing is we can start off small, work our way up by building a solid system, by getting at least 6,000 steps in. Once we get to the 6,000 steps, then guess what? Then we can transition to 10. Me personally, I've been able to still get about 15,000 steps a day. I'm averaging between 11-ish to 15, depending on how active and inactive our day is. That's me doing cardio twice out of the day. So on my 2-a-days, start off with cardio, finish off with cardio. Every time I work out, I start off with some type of cardiovascular activities. And I told you the whole point of doing some type of cardiovascular activity when we starting off is to what? Is to warm up the body. No way around that. One of the best ways to warm up the body is by doing what? Cardiovascular activity. My personal go-tos, I do not do Stairmaster. I do either the bike, the treadmill, or the elliptical. Those are my go-tos. Me personally, those are my go-tos. Bike, elliptical, or treadmill. I prefer elliptical. Elliptical is my top dog. And then second is going to be bike. I personally prefer the bike because at the end of the day, this is a great way to keep very strong hamstrings. You get where I'm going? So those are my 3 when it comes down to it, to actually help me easily hit the 10,000 steps a day. Don't get me wrong. I have to be real with this. It may be that much easier for me to hit these numbers because I'm always in the gym. I'm a certified personal trainer, so sometimes I work out with my clients. Sometimes I don't work out with my clients. So me personally, I always do like to get people to understand, for me personally, it's very easy for me to get to 10 and 15,000 because I'm always in the gym. A client might cancel, and if I got to get a few steps in because the client coming in an hour after that, I'll do 45 minutes to an hour of cardio just to kill time to wait for my next client. So those little things are going to be a big difference when it comes down to activity. So remember, we're going 5 days a week. One small thing that we're focused on is going to be 6 is the minimum. We're trying to get at least 10,000 steps a day. Like I told you before, I'm getting between 11 and 15. How the 5-day-a-week structure is going to play out is we're going to do 2 days of cardio by itself, and then we're going to do 3 days of resistance training. The resistance training is going to be simple. I'm going to break everything down to you with the resistance training to point you in all the right directions. But when it comes down to resistance training, like I said, we're doing that 3 times a week to kind of start off. This is a very easy system that you can use if you just started working out. I'm giving you the game for free if you're paying attention. I'm giving you the game for free if you're really paying attention. But like I said, 2 days of cardiovascular activity and 3 days of resistance training. I work out 5 days a week, me personally. Right now, I'm not veering towards 6. I'm not veering to 7. I still may have a total of what is it? So if it's 5, I do 2 a days. I might work out eight times a week though, because like I said, doing 2 a days, I might do 2 a days. The first week I got back into the gym. Me personally, I worked out 3 days a week. I mean, I worked out. It was 3 days that I did 2 a days. So once again, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I did 2 a days. So for me, I'm a little bit more active than others. You don't have to go as extreme as I'm going, but I always say this: if you have everything set up right when it comes down to the food, and the third thing we're gonna talk about is going to be recovery. Your body can actually handle you doing a lot of what I'm doing. Because those are the things that I key in on. My output, which is my activity, is going to be relative to my intake, which is going to be my food. And then last but not least, is going to be how I'm able to maximize recovery. Don't forget, nutrition does play a huge role in how well you can recover at the same time too. And this is another reason why I'm not skipping on cutting meals right now. I'm still focused on nourishing my body properly. I'm just focused on eating as premium as possible. One of the main reasons why I said I'd be damned if I do fast food a lot. There's times in my schedule I'm gonna be real with you, I've done maybe fast food once or twice a day if I'm really going to go. And once again, if I didn't properly meal prep. Meal prep is going to save you from a situation of you having to being in an area. If you somebody like me, I do landscaping and training, right? So sometimes if I'm doing landscaping, if I do 9 properties within a day, because I do focus on more landscaping Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when it wasn't like as busy as it was, as busy as it is now. I do landscaping pretty much every day at this point. But when I first started off, I was doing Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, right? And what I noticed was on those Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I wasn't properly meal prepping, which led me to binge towards eating a lot of trash foods, depending on what area I was in. All areas are not created equal. If you in an area like Catonsville, you're gonna get a lot of fast food trash. You're gonna get the Wendy's, you're gonna get what is another one? McDonald's. You're gonna get a lot of stuff that you just shouldn't be consuming. Mainly when it comes down to it being heavily processed. You get where I'm going? So then going from there, I've noticed a big difference in my energy levels. Like, for example, I'm going to be real with you. I was sick all yesterday. But the fact that I've been consuming more high quality foods, still incorporate my cold pressed juices, still working out with the regimen that I'm using, up in my water intake, and on top of that, making sure I get an adequate amount of rest, because yesterday I did rest pretty much all day. You're going to see a big difference at the end of the day in how you feel as well as how you perform. This is very important. Very important. You're going to see a huge difference in, once again, how you hold on. You're going to see a huge difference in how you perform, as well as how you recover. Because recovery is key at the end of the day. A lot of people fail to realize how you recover does dictate how you can perform. But a lot of these are throughout this entire balance. One thing about activity, I think, is a lot of people misunderstand what activity is. Even though you start a certain way, does not necessarily mean you're going to end a certain way. So what I mean by this is when you start off and say you can only do, it take you 20 minutes to do a mile, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Generally, my average time for a mile is like 6 minutes if I'm using like elliptical, or if I'm doing a bike, I'm getting it in under 4 minutes. You get what I'm saying? But I try to get people to understand that the body will adapt to whatever you're feeding it. So if you start working out and you're feeling some type of way about not being able to do X amount, do not get discouraged. Keep going. Stay consistent, because at the end of the day, that your body will adapt and you will be able to do more. A great example is if you do 5 push-ups and you struggling with 5 push-ups, as long as you keep that in your regimen at least 2 to 3 times a week, that 5 is going to grow to 7. That 7 is going to grow to 10. That 10 is going to grow to 15. That 15 is going to grow to 20, and so on and so forth. It's all relative to how consistent you stay with doing this. This is another reason why I say consistency is key when it comes down to you getting great results. I didn't build my physique and start getting great results within this past month that I've been working out just because I've been working out for a month. It's because I've been working out over the years. Even with me taking a break within 2 years because of the injuries that I accumulated from the car accidents that I experienced, do understand one thing. I was very shocked about how great of a physique I still had without working out like that for 2 years. But it's only because I've been consistent over the years. Once I started working out, I'm going to be real with you, I rarely stop working out. But I want you to understand it's all about consistency. You need to be consistent, but not just being consistent and doing anything. Because there's a lot of people that I personally know at the end of the day that work out a lot, but still don't look like they work out. And this is another reason why I'm giving you a method that you can start utilizing and using to get great results, and not only achieve these great results that you're trying to achieve, but be able to maintain these results. That's something that you got to understand. So for me, remember, the activity is going to be a game changer. We're going 5 days a week, 3 days of resistance training. We did 2 days of cardio. 1 day of the cardio is going to be very intense. You're going to be going as fast as you possibly can. The second one is just going to be more of a jog, more of a light jog. What I want you to do, and it's something I do every time I do cardio, I take a picture of what I did when I completed my cardio. So right once I'm about to get off that machine, I take a picture, then I press stop and I take a picture again, because they're going to give you a little bit, it's going to be a little bit more detailed after the first picture. And I like to use that stuff to collect data. That's my way of analyzing what I'm doing to see if I'm low on energy, to see if I'm not in my normal state. You get to see what norm is for you. Are you able? So norm is for me, mainly if I'm warming up, it's under 3 minutes. Under 4 minutes on the bike. If I'm not getting a mile in under 4 minutes, I'm going to be real with you. That's not normal. Something not right. Is it a situation I'm just really taking it easy this particular day? Because you do need to have your take it easy days. And your take it easy days for me are generally my active rest days. Active rest days are very important for me, and I'm going to go into details how active rest days can be very beneficial. But like I said, I'm just giving you a lot of game. Matter of fact, if you're soaking in this game that I'm giving you right now, do me a favor and type a 7 in the comments, because I'm giving you a lot of game right now. But before we move on to the next one, we're going to have to go over recovery again. Well, the number 3 is recovery. We talked about food. We talked about being active. But number 3, before we get back into the active part, is going to be recovery. You have to understand recovery is key. I need you to understand. What I like to do is my scale is like this. I'm going to show you my scale. My scale is generally food, right? Your training. And then last but not least is going to be your recovery. The reason why recovery is going to be at the bottom is because guess what? You're going to have to climb right back up to the top to be able to maximize. These 3 things you should always be focusing on if you're trying to get in great shape. These 3 things are what you should always be focusing on if you're trying to get in great shape. A lot of people love to tell you it's just about nutrition. Nutrition is important, but nutrition is the end all be all. You have to understand, in order to build my current physique, my physique is based upon how I've been training. Me being able to maximize my training is relative to my recovery. And then we go right back up to the top because food is a part of recovery. So I need you to understand recovery is going to be key. People love to ask me all the time, like, how much time do you spend on recovery? I focus on recovery every day. I'm using something like a foam roller. I'm using something like a massage gun. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I use. I'm a big Hyperice fan. Everything I have, for the most part, I use a lot of Hyperice stuff, the different attachments. If it's some certain scenarios where I feel like I need to isolate the area, I'm going to throw this attachment in. I'm going to use my Hyperice massage gun. One thing about me personally, I take the massage gun in and out my program though. So if I use it solidly for 3 weeks, I take it out for a week or 2 and then put it back in, because I do feel like the body gets acclimated to it. And me personally, even though the settings go crazy. So this is 1. I don't know if you can hear it. This 2 is insane, and this is 3. I'm gonna be real with you. Every time I've used this gun, I always use the 1 setting, despite how powerful this is. This is another form of recovery that I use, mainly for feet. A lot of people don't realize you need to spend a little bit more time at the end of the day on alleviating the stress in your feet. And this is one way. This is one of many things that I use to alleviate a lot of stress when it comes down to the feet. Same thing. It's a little vibrate massage gun. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it got a little bit of power. So this 1, this 2, this 3. 3 is a little, something like this, I'm going to use 2 or 3 for sure, because this isn't as powerful as the massage gun itself. When it comes down to the feet, me using a massage gun, I might use 2 from time to time, to be 100% real with you, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize they get a lot of shin splints, mainly from feet. A lot of people don't realize poor ankle mobility. Poor ankle mobility comes from you wearing trash shoes and you not getting a lot of that tension that you're putting in your feet, mainly for those who are always on your feet. You say, how much for the massage gun? Me personally, I bought the massage gun probably like, I bought that massage gun like 5 years ago. So I can't tell you what the new price is. I bought that way before the pandemic. I bought that a long time ago. So just look up Hyperice. You go to Hyperice, you can go ahead and it'll tell you how much that stuff costs. And you could just pick one which works for you. That's not the mini one, that's the regular size one. But I bought that 5 years. Best money I spent. I think I spent probably like $600 on it, if I'm not mistaken. I think $600 or $700 on it. I could be wrong. I can't remember. And the reason why, and just to give you a little bit of context of why this one's $600 to $700, and I don't think you really need all of that. I don't think you really need to spend all of that. But mine's, if you want to be lazy, if you use the Hyperice app, it literally changes the settings for you. So it'll give you a deload workout is what I call it. It'll give you a deload workout, and literally this is Bluetooth, as you can see, it's Bluetooth. So it's connected to your phone. So when you on the app, it's gonna ask you, is this yours? It's Bluetooth connected, and the settings will adjust by itself. I'm gonna be real with you. I rarely use the app. I probably use the app 3-4 times max, because I know what I'm doing. But I might have to use the app. I might have to use the app soon, because I haven't used the app in a long time, and I just want to see what it offers. You know what I'm saying? But those are a few things that I use as far as recovery. Another thing is static stretching. Static stretching, holding it, gonna be very important. This is gonna allow you to lengthen the muscle as it gets tighter, mainly for those who are lifting heavy. So do understand, right now I'm in the phase, I'm trying to lift as heavy as I possibly can. I want to see how strong I can possibly get before summer comes around. So I'm gonna be lifting heavy for a little bit of time. So for me, within the process of me lifting heavy, this is another reason why recovery is going to be even more important. Remember, the heavier we lift, the more wear and tear we're putting on the body, and we need to make sure we tighten up on our nutrition, and we need to make sure we're tightening up on our recovery. Recovery's been so key for me. I even opened a membership at Planet Fitness just to use the hydro massage bed, just to tighten up even more of my recovery. If I'm in the area, I can just go ahead and check in, spend 10 minutes in that gym on a massage bed, and bounce out. Because there's, at this point, Planet Fitness are like liquor stores. But me personally, I'm going to be real with you. When it comes down to Planet Fitness, I will not be with Planet Fitness for so long, because I'm going to be real with you. It's not a great gym. It's not. Some of the pieces of equipment are subpar at the end of the day, mainly when it comes down to doing like chest exercises. It depends on which one you go to. I don't like the idea that it doesn't have a they don't have barbells, so that's another downfall for me. They don't have barbells. The weights don't go up to 100 pounds. And then I'm gonna be real with you, because I'm training at the Y, I'm training at LA Fitness, and I'm training at Planet Fitness right now. Those are the memberships that I have right now. But I'm gonna be real with you. I do feel like Planet Fitness weight is a lot lighter. A lot of the machines, I'm damn near at the bottom of the stack, and I'm just kind of getting back into it. So for me personally, I'm gonna be real with you. Very interesting. It's very interesting to experience that. But I only plan on being at Planet Fitness for another month. Then I'm gonna end up canceling my membership. Generally, I would open up my membership at Golds, but Goals is a little too far for me. Goals is about, what is it? Probably like 25 to 30 minutes. Amazing facilities, but me personally, I don't have that type of time right now. So that's another reason why I did open an LA Fitness. Next gym I will be opening up. I mean, not LA Fitness, but that's why I did open a Planet Fitness. That and a hydro massage bed. But before you know it, I will be working out back at Chisel. Even though I'm not a big fan of Chisel, I feel like it's a kid gym. I ain't gonna go back and forth with it, and it's quite small. But I gotta get. I'm not, where I'm at right now. What I've been experiencing from my workouts within this past month. I'm gonna be real with you. How strong I've gotten. I ain't trying to slow down. So me personally, I was like, you know what? Let me really just dial in. Because at first I was saying once March hit and landscaping opened back up for the first 2 months, I'm probably not gonna work out because my job is a workout. You get what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be real with you 100%. I'm gonna keep working out. And I'm gonna open a gym membership that's gonna get me right. What it do, big dog? What it do? What it do? What it do? So now, as we go into, because we talked a lot about recovery. Now, as we go into the training, we're going to go right back into the training because remember, number 2 was active. But we're going to just put as far as training, how we're training. So I'm going to give you a system that I'm pretty much using. My system personally changes because I only train how my body feels. I've never used the program personally. I've always programmed based upon how I feel. So I always like to use that as a disclaimer when it comes down to how I train. But remember, I'm a professional. I've been a certified personal trainer for years at this point. For years. I'm talking about I've been doing this for a long time. At one point, I had anywhere between 6 to 18 trainers, depending on what location I worked at when it came to me managing the training department. But a system I'm still using that you can be using is we're going to say 1, 2, 3. We're going to say push, pull, and legs. And when it comes down to 2 of these, I might kind of switch this up a little bit relative to areas that I feel in need, that I feel or need more improvement. You get what I'm saying? So a great example with push, for those who do not know, push is when you're working chest, shoulders, right? And triceps. I don't know if you notice, but when you work in chest, you're automatically working shoulders and triceps. When you work in shoulders, you generally might be working a little bit of chest, and then you're going to hit those triceps. So do understand all of these things work in sync. When it comes down to our back days, we're going to do back and we're going to do biceps. You get what I'm saying? So back and biceps is all you're going to be working on when it comes down to your pull. And when it comes down to your leg days, you're going to hit the quads. You're going to hit the hams, them hamstrings. You're going to hit glutes. And you're going to hit those calves. You're making sure you're hitting all of these areas. The reason why I like starting my programs off like this is because you can start to see what areas need more work, what areas need more conditioning, and what areas are extremely weak. And now what we can do is build a solid program off all the adjustments we need to make in order to build the physique that we want to build. You get where I'm going? So within us going 3 days, say for example, what I'll do is if I'm doing 2 days on these 3 days, this might be legs this particular day. I might hit chest or back for real this particular day. So if I went heavy with back the first half, I'm going to do more time and attention the next half. If I do legs, same thing. I'm going to do chest or back. It's just relative to how heavy I went. So if I'm going super heavy on legs, remember when I say super heavy, generally I'm using either a hex bar on deadlift, which is going to be my heavy movement. Heavy leg presses is going to be one. And then last but not least, it's going to be barbell squats. Right now, I haven't tapped into doing 225 or anything crazy like that. I think max I've been doing is 185. But do understand, I'm giving you a little bit of what I do and how I work my system. And then, like I said, 2 of these is not always just me hitting these muscle groups. It can also be if I do push. Second might be pickleball. You know what I'm saying? Then 2 days on this one. It might be because I did back. My bad. If I did legs, I might do basketball. It's either basketball or pickleball. From here, same thing. Basketball or pickleball. me picking between those two. And it's always relative, once again, to how my body feels. If I've noticed that my shoulders tight, or I notice that my legs are tight, this is going to dictate what I'm going to be doing as far as that second workout of the day. But me personally, right now, because I'm really trying to focus on conditioning and really get some of my weak areas a lot stronger to build a better overall physique, I'm implementing 2-a-days right now. I'm gonna let you know when I actually start taking 2-a-days out, because as I get heavier with the weight, I want to make sure that I'm not just continuously taxing my body. You get where I'm going? But this is a simple program and a simple system that you can start utilizing right now in order to get in great shape. It's gonna have everything that you need. And me personally, just to give you even more context for what I do, I'm not a person that just focused on just being strong. I like, being strong is cool, but I think one of the worst things to do is be strong and you can't move. I feel like that's one of the worst things you can do, is be strong and not be able to move. So movement for me is always going to be key. I don't want to be able to squat 315 pounds, but I can't run. I don't want to be able to bench press 225 pounds, but I can't knock out 50 push-ups. So for me, there's always like a fight, and there's always a balance that I have when it comes down to my training, where I'm always worried about moving. I hear it all the time when I play pickleball, like, God damn, you fast. You're better off doing 1v1 when you play pickleball, because I can cover the whole floor. A lot of people play lazy. Me personally, I'm running to the right, I'm running to the left, I'm telling my partner to switch. These are things that I'm doing when I'm playing pickleball, other than I see most people just know how to hit the ball and play close to the line. I move close to when I play. I play the other side if I feel like I have a better shot than my opponent. I'm not my opponent, but my partner. Am I taking all my partner shots? Nah, that's not the case. But there is a lot of things that I can do to get busy, and that's another reason why I do like pickleball. Pickleball has actually helped me get a lot better with basketball as well, mainly because you're working on a lot of lateral motions. You're doing a lot of lateral movement. So what do we require when we playing basketball instead of just straight running up and down? When we on defense, we doing, once again, a lot of lateral motions. Mainly for those who are athletes out here, I highly recommend picking a sport at the end of the day that is going to help you get better at your primary sport. I think a great example is if you play football, you should be running track. If you playing tennis, a good transition could be baseball, because things are unexpected. You can work on being able to the power from your throw. I like pickleball because a lot of people don't realize not just the lateral motion, but your touch that you get from the paddle, hitting it light, hitting it hard, keeping it within the lines, working on your jumper. These are things that you can cross transition to. So I want you to understand there are things that you can learn from one sport and bring it to another sport as well. But like I told you before, it's all about being consistent though. And me personally, I'm 35. This is Fit Over 35. For those who do not know, I'm catering to all my people fit over 35. And one thing I want you to focus on at the end of the day is you being consistent. You need to be consistent as possible. The more consistent you are, the easier this is going to be. The more consistent you are, the easier this is going to be. And it's from following the few steps that we talked about. One is going to be what? Food. Washing what you put into your body. Number 3 is going to be you being active. Number 2 is going to be you being active. And number 3 is going to be you focusing on recovery. I always like to go into context of what makes sense and what you can do, because these are things that we can start doing right now in order to get in great shape. If you think I'm in great shape now, just wait until 2-3 months come by. This is me out of shape. You're going to see the physique change. I already see drastic improvements in my physique. My chest development has gotten better. I'm going to start working on incline a lot more. My shoulder striations are starting to come back. You know what I'm saying? Traps starting to build up a little bit more. Abs starting to poke out a little bit more because I'm cleaning up the eating tremendously. You get what I'm saying? Once we focus on these 3 things, it's a lot easier to manage a lot. When it comes down to food, I think another thing we need to worry about is having the proper recipes based upon what your intake should be. I think a lot of people start different diets and things or try to make transition into diets and don't know how to cook. Make sure you're looking at recipes that you can utilize and maximize in the time that you have available. Ooh, I didn't know I had the little shark fans right here. But just little stuff like that is going to make a big difference because food is going to be very important. I don't want you to overlook that. Food is going to be very important. And like I said, activity. We talked about activity. 10,000 steps a day. That's what we're trying to work towards. 6,000 minimum. Definitely going to be a lot harder because it's colder outside. Should we about to get snow tomorrow evening. So little stuff like that. Mainly for those who are going to be at home, this is the perfect time to get your workouts in. You got the kettlebells at home. You got the dumbbells at home. Get your workouts in. Knock out your burpees. I always say burpees is one of the best exercises you could possibly do. Matter of fact, speaking of exercises, let's talk about exercises real quick. These are very important exercises I feel like everybody should incorporate into their training program. And when I say everybody, I'm talking to general public. No injuries, no nothing. Because I think it's so crazy. Like, it's one of the posts that I put up. It's a post that I put up recently where I don't even know why people think they know what they're talking about with this. But you should not be able to lift more with your upper body than you should with your lower body. I've been getting the craziest shit I've ever heard. Oh, it's going to hurt your knees and do all of this. Just tell me, from the comments that I've got, you're just showing me you don't know how to train. You're showing me you don't know how to work out. If you telling me that squats is going to blow out your knees, that's the easiest way of telling me you don't know what to do. And I want to teach you what to do. We're going to go over a lot of stuff as we tap in more and more on the lives. And remember, I'm going to go crazy on the lives until March. Once March comes up, I will not be going live like that anymore. Every time I go live, it's only going to be for my Patreon group, by the way. So I do want to be clear on that because I like to invest more into people that invest more into me. You get what I'm saying? And Patreon start as low as $10 at the end of the day. So these are a few exercises for me that are non-negotiable. And I'm going to be clear again for anybody that is not experiencing any type of injuries or anything to that nature. And when I say these exercises are important, they're important to be performed with good form and good technique. The first one on the list is going to be squats. Squats is going to be very important. Squats should be a movement that is in your program. If you want to develop stronger legs before you get into squats, do me a favor, get stronger on the leg press. But do understand, you getting stronger on the leg press is something I've done plenty of times. You getting stronger on the leg press is going to get you stronger at squats. But do understand, once you start using something like a barbell and you doing front squats or back squats, you're still not going to be able to go nowhere close to as heavy as you may want doing squats because now your posterior chain has to get stronger. You got to get used to having that barbell with some weight in this position from a front squat or this position for a back squat. Do be mindful of that. One thing I love about leg press allow you to alleviate a lot of some of the unnecessary tension that you're going to get with the upper body. That's why I love leg press, mainly if you're using a horizontal leg press where you just push it straight out. Not the one where the weight is above you like this and you pushing up. This is going to add more tension to the lower back, the one that you put your feet like this. I do love that leg press also for calf raises. So this is one exercise I'm going to say. I'm going to put squats and leg press in 1, 2. People don't want to talk about this. Deadlifts. Deadlifts is important. More so, to be real with you, more so stiff leg deadlifts than Romanian deadlifts. The reason why is because you get that full range of motion when it comes down to the hamstrings. A lot of people don't realize they're experiencing a lot of knee pains, a lot of lower back pains. It's more so because they have weak hamstrings and strong quads. Their quads are too strong, but their hamstrings weak as hell. Deadlifts is something you should be incorporating to your program. A lot of people like to argue me down with this, but I'm telling you right now, think about this. To pick something off the ground like this, what are you doing? You're doing a deadlift. So imagine You doing deadlifts is going to keep you prepared for if you got to move something heavy, pick it up off the ground and all that other stuff. So do me a favor and understand, deadlifts are going to be very important. Another one is going to be any type of chest press. Some people like to say they don't like doing barbell chest press because it aggravates their shoulders. Everything is relative to what your body can handle and what you're comfortable with doing. Me personally, I do chest press, I do cable, I do dumbbell. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. They all have their pros, they all have their cons. I love to incorporate everything and love to train smart, and I love how you shock the body from transitioning between some of these things. Another exercise you should be doing is going to be pull-ups. If you can, try your best to work toward weighted pull-ups. I'm telling you right now, some of the best physiques are built from being able to do weighted pull-ups. Game changer. Weighted pull-ups are a complete game changer. I can't tell you this enough. But once again, you got to start off with some type of pull-ups. Pull-ups are going to be very important. Another one is going to be number 5. It's going to be dips. Dips is one of the ultimate exercises to build a phenomenal chest. When I'm talking about dips, incline press, something you want to incorporate in, if you haven't been able to work up to dips doing body weight or weighted, do me a favor and just start off with decline chest press, because decline chest press is just really a modified version of dips. But do understand one thing, dips is going to be your money. And once again, if you can with this one, do me a favor and try your best to work up to weighted dips. Weighted dips going to have your body looking amazing. Another one is going to be rows. Rows are going to help you build a nice back. And there's so many different variations to do rows. You got machine rows. You got close grip rows. You got wide grip rows. You got mid grip rows. You got the rows where I forgot the type of bar it is, where it's a black bar that works more on forearms. It's so many different variations of rows. You got barbell bent over rows. You got T-bar rows. Utilize all of those. Switch them up. Utilize each and every one of those rows. But rows is something that you need to be incorporating. Another exercise that you need to be incorporating into your program. Rows is going to be a complete game changer. Another exercise that you need to be incorporating, a lot of people love to argue me down, and some people love to say burpees are a waste of time. But burpees is another exercise that you need to be incorporating into your game plan, into your routine. Something that's going to change your life. Do me a favor and understand that burpees are going to take your conditioning to a whole nother level. Another reason why I personally like burpees is because I try to get people to understand one thing that's very important. When it comes down to burpees, as you get older, one of the most difficult things that you're going to have to do is pick yourself off the ground. Burpees helps you build the conditioning for that. I train so many clients of so many different ages. My oldest client is 86 years old, and I want you to understand one thing. When it comes down to the burpees right now, once you get that age, it's going to be difficult to pick yourself up off the ground. So make sure you're incorporating those burpees. Those are going to be a game changer. And this is a great way to work on cardiovascular endurance at the same time without having to do a lot of long distance running and things to that nature. Do me a favor. Let's be real. How many people can knock out 100 burpees with ease? So burpees is going to be another one. But those are just a few exercises I'm going to give you right now that's going to help you take things to the next level.